Ayan, we're live again. Magandang Sunday to everyone, mga kaganap, mga kamamo. We are on for our 8th episode. Pang-walo na pong episode ito. And tonight, I am very excited kasi yung guest natin is, how do I say it? She's not only talented, but she's an empowered woman. Empowered woman. Grabe nakaka-excite kasi hindi ko alam kung kulang yata itong isang oras ng show natin ng Dear Mamou just to talk to her and uncover what life has been, the ups and downs, the successes, the hurt. But yung alam mo paano siya nakaka-bounce back, pareho kaming prom D. Ayan ang mga prom D. And ang ating namang letter sender is also is a beauty queen. Marami ding accomplishments. Nako, kaya mga kamamo, you know, Dear Mamou is here to give you inspiration, hope, and faith, plus love. By the way, kung gusto nyong i-feature ko yung mga love life ninyo and we will advise you, ay sumulat na. Itong ating letter sender ay sumulat sa atin doon sa dearmamouv@gmail.com. dearmamouv@gmail.com. Sumulat na kayo kung ano yung mga concerns sa mga love life. If you want your love life to be featured here sa Dear Mamou, go tayo. And then yung ating letter sender, today we will also ask her to join us live. I hope that Romilet, you are gising na. Kasi right now it's 7 o'clock in San Antonio, Texas. Shout out kay Richie Ocampo. Hi Richie. And yes, happy 10th month kay Baby Riz. Naku, si Baby Riz, gumaganda ng gumaganda lalo. Panibagong panibagong beauty queen natin yan. This time, pang Miss Universe na yan. Richie, ha? Oo. So, ayan. Baby Riz, I love you. Mamou loves you. Mwah! Ayan, kay Gladys Garcia. Thank you, Gladys. Thank you kanina. Si Noel ba yun? Ayan, thank you. Ngayon, let us introduce, ano ba yun? Nabubulol ako. Bakit ako nabubulol? Iinom tayo ng tubig mamaya. Direct bench, let's introduce our guest.
Our guest for tonight is Elie Quial, a Manila-based artist who works on fabric painting and mixed media. After working in the airline and fashion industry for over a decade in the Middle East, Elie studied fashion design at the Arts Institute of Vancouver. Elie is constantly inspired by the state of mind of the people around her, most often depicting expressions of deep emotions. Although the inspiration is often somber, the use of vibrant colors and strong lines in her paintings delivers a juxtaposition of inspiration and interpretation, resulting in a fun, whimsical characters that comes to life. Her work has been described as eccentric, stimulating, and mystical. She paints in her studio every day with the company of her cat, Mamou.
Hello, Eli. Welcome to Dear Mamou V. I'm excited to see you. Ay, ano yan? Gusto ko yung nasa backdrop mo na yan.
I know. This is for you. This is my gift to you, to the show.
Gusto ko yan. Kailangan yung backdrop ko rin dito. Bukas na bukas din.
That's good.
There you see my gorgeous dress for tonight. Diba? Mala beauty. Kung sumali ito si Eli ng beauty pageant nung time. Ito is universe din ito.
My parents are very strict, so ayaw nila eh. Hi,
Okay.
Nanay and Tatay.
Yeah. Tatay. Kasi you're also from the province, pareho tayong from the very quickly, paano ka naka-adjust ng buhay mo dito sa when you came to Manila?
Oh no, God, I was really fresh off the boat. I was not comfortable kahit mag-Tagalog. So I mean, I'm Moray, right? I'm from Borongan. So nung pagdating ko dito, I was blown away by the city life. It took me a while kasi I did not ever go to a city until I was 16. So when I moved after high school, eto na yun, like I went to the mall and I'm like, oh my God, it's so big. And all the girls are wearing shorts and there's McDonald's and Jollibee. And it was amazing for someone who's never really seen it before. So it was an amazing experience. But it took me a while. Yeah. To adjust.
And then you joined the airline industry as an FA. Talk to us about it. And then you went around the globe.
I did. So I was 23 when I applied. I was working. I worked at, I think, Mandarin Hotel, and then after that, a friend of mine who wanted to apply as a flight attendant in Qatar Airways asked me to go with her, and I actually ended up kind of getting accepted. So I wasn't ready at that time, but I also realized that it was an opportunity. Honestly, when I applied in Qatar Airways, I haven't even heard of Qatar. Because at that time Qatar was just kind of booming, and also I had to like buy Lonely Planet, read about it, but it was the best decision that I have ever made in my life because it really helped me at that time. When I applied, I was a single mom, so I had my son when I was 18, so I was very young and very broke. And I needed a stable job to support my son. So that was such a blessing to get the job, and it changed my life. And I've met so many wonderful people. So it was a great experience.
Okay, moving on. After the airline, you got married, and then next you got into, you studied again. Talk to us about it.
Yeah. So when I was in the airline, I started a family a few years after that, and unfortunately, it has ended a few years ago. But that's how life is, and everything that happens, device is a lesson and a blessing if you stay positive. So anyhow, a part of the experience came along with the opportunity for me to go back to school. So my family, we didn't have a lot of material things, just let's just say that. So getting the education was not really a priority at that time. But I've always wanted to go back to school after I helped my siblings attend school. So I had the opportunity, and so I applied and studied in Vancouver, and I studied fashion design. So I loved it because I was an adult student. I mean, I think I was 33 when I went back to school, and my classmates were like in their early 20s. You know, they were still partying, and I would go to school and I'd be like, okay, just listen to the teacher. I asked all these questions. I was like the classmate that everyone hates because I asked too many questions. I was so eager. I was like so hungry. I'm like, I'm ready. I'm old enough. I'm ready. I just want to learn. And it was so good. It was amazing to go back to school and actually study something that I was very passionate about. So yeah, and I graduated with honors, which was really good. And yeah, and I think it's different when you go back to school when you're older, di ba? Kasi yung focus mo is so it's different na than when
Yes.
you're young, and yung parents mo lang tell you that you're supposed to finish school, di ba? Most of us just follow what our parents say, but it's hard sometimes to realize what you want. So yung life experience ko really gave me the opportunity to realize what I wanted to do. So initially I wanted to do interior design, and then my friends were like, well, you should go into fashion design because I think you will excel there. So I did.
Okay. And then you entered into this competition in New York City
Yeah.
with your entry,
Yes,
and
when
you won.
I did. So it was for Humane Society of New York. So they have every year they do this competition called Cool versus Cruel. So they encourage the fashion design student to create a garment that using kind of like alternative way of, say, if you want to, instead of using fur, what can you do? So I actually put it here in the mannequin. So it's this one.
Okay.
It's meant to look like a fur, but I use fabric basically and kind of design it. So the
Can you bring it a little closer kung pwede? The mannequin? Iusog mo na si Mamou V. Wow, that's nice. And it's a classic.
Yeah, and it has like a slit here, and it's low back.
Wow. I can wear that 20 years ago.
Well, you can go wear it now. I did this too. I did the design. That was the first time I actually played on fabric painting. So this is kind of like really special because I have never done fabric painting before.
Wow, wonderful. Ang galing. Yes, I can wear that 20 years ago.
You can wear it.
And
Yes.
then
So this is a competition just among, it started in Canada, and then when I won, they took this piece and it was displayed in New York for a year. So
wow.
it was really amazing to just be able to contribute or inspire. Or I mean, when I was designing, I didn't really know how it will come about. So this piece has been very, very special for me because it really made me realize that when you put your heart and soul into something, it comes out nice. So yeah. So I'm keeping this piece, and I hope I will still fit this in this after 20 years.
Yes, it's a classic to me. It's timeless to me. It's very timeless to me. And then talk to me about you said you started the hand painting in this fabric, and then now you went into like the jacket of Dear Mamou V. You're now into painting the fabric.
So the journey into upcycling denim really started. So after I finished school, I was I worked as a stylist for Hudson's Bay. So it's like a chain of department stores in Canada, and I met so many really wonderful people. But one thing that made me realize every time I talk to them and they come in and tell me, okay, I need an outfit for an event, I will always encourage them, because I always ask them, are you sure you have nothing to wear in your closet? And they'd say yes. But then I end up having some clients na they actually invited me to their house to look. They were like, well, you can come in and have a look at what I have. And they had a lot of clothes, which made me realize, like, why are these people shopping? Is it because they don't know what to wear? Is it because it's, they don't fit anymore? And as like coming out from fashion design school, I started thinking, like, is this how I want to do this? Create more waste in the fashion industry, because you know how it is, like there's this fast fashion, people just churn out clothes without really thinking where it's going. And so I thought, okay, this is not how I want to do this. As a designer, I need to find a way to create something. Then I don't have to pick new garments. So I started upcycling. I would upcycle their or redesign or restyle their old clothing. So if they have a dress na super fit, or it's too small or it's too big, then I will ask them to alter it. So to redesign using the same fabric. And that was really nice to do. And then when I moved to Abu Dhabi, I started working on denim. So I bought like a bunch of pre-loved denim, and I started painting on them, because I love to paint. It's not something that I thought I will incorporate what I do, but I think it's a perfect marriage of upcycling and art. So I really like it. And it's such a special piece when I make something and there's only you in the world who actually owns a specific design. So
Yes.
it's not about right now we are like in this idea of, oh, I've seen that, I want that. That really has to change, because the waste that the fashion industry creates is just crazy. I mean, it's the second largest polluter, right, in the world. And we don't know that. We just throw all these things. We don't care if it's cotton. You don't care if it will rot or not. It will stay buried, and for thousands of years it won't melt. Like, it will just stay in our on ground. And walang walang sense of responsibility when we shop. We just we feed the beast because we want it, right? And
Yes.
so that was like my way of really kind of showing that there's other ways of embracing fashion, but in a more responsible way. So Unwasted was born.
Wow, that's wonderful. I hear many people about recycling, but upcycling is different. So Eli, because we have many viewers, so are you available to? Can we hire you to come ransack our wardrobe and then do this and do that? And Mamou, you need to do this and do that. Can we do that to you? Can we hire you?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think the a really important part of us. I mean, of course, everyone wants to look great, right? But I think before we really buy something, it's good to just look into the closet and see what you have, and kind of like give it a lease of life. And it will be good as new. I mean, we hardly wear a lot of their stuff na nakahanger lang, di ba? I mean, you know that.
Correct.
Yeah, that's something that you can do for sure. Or finding ways, or helping you to realize, like, okay, what can I do with this skirt? I mean, I love the idea of actually showing people many ways of wearing something. I think I sent you a photo where, I wear one skirt, but I wear it in different ways. So it's also just inspiring people to show that there's a lot of ways to style one piece. So yeah, hire me. Call me.
Exactly. And then also, it's not only that. It's not just the fabric. You do murals. I saw your work. It's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you. I love working on murals. It's so I love it when I get lost. You know, you just paint. I mean, you have all these paints on the floor, and you just I put the music on and I paint, and it's wonderful. I love working on big pieces. So yes, you can also hire me to do mural. Your bedroom.
Yes,
Your
yes.
office.
In my new house, I will commission you to do that in my new house.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I do mural. I do like mixed media. I paint on fabric. So yeah, I can.
Grabe, I'm overwhelmed with the kind of creative juices that you have. And then now, yung recent mo na nakikita ko, this kind of painting with mga babae na iba-ibang, it's a different, oo, kasi most like one, me for one, gusto ko maganda yung mukha. But talk to us about it. Why this kind of expression?
Actually, I have this.
Yes.
Yeah. So this piece, this style came about around this year, early this year, in April. Actually, this piece is available to purchase on artstock.ph if anybody is interested. So
artstock.ph.
Yeah, artstock.ph. I always say I'm an emotional artist, because when I'm sad, when I'm angry, when I'm heartbroken, I actually create beautiful pieces. I think it's because I fuel my artistic side ng emotions. It's like when it doesn't, sometimes it's not about me also. Sometimes I meet somebody who is just sad or happy. I kind of channel it, and then it comes out in my work. Interestingly, it's mostly kind of when they're down. It's really interesting on when they're down, or when it's like there's a sad emotion. I feel it, and then I paint it. So these girls, they are, I don't know, they're kind of like perfectly imperfect. I would say they don't have eyebrows, and as you know, kilay is life, but
Kilay is life.
I decided not to draw their eyebrows, just because I want to take that piece away that we always associate with being beautiful. I mean, if you notice my artworks, they have wonky, like crooked nose.
Yes.
They have big lips, but there's this elegance in them, and I love that. So I don't know. I don't have the names of these girls, but they come out and they're pretty wonky, and I love it.
I know. I can see the elegance. They're sophisticated. May smoothie. May ang ganda lang, di ba? Pag-usapan natin niya, parang gusto kong kumuha ng isa.
Yes. Yeah. So my artwork is available on Art Talks PH. They represent me, so any pieces that the viewers want to, if you want to check my work, it's there.
Yes, that's true. Yes, I would be very interested kasi kakaiba pero siguro anong tawag dito? Okay, Direct Bench, we have a letter sender, and she's very interested with you because nakita niya yung profile mo, grabe. Some artists kasi would just focus on one medium and one thing. Ayan, that's our letter sender.
2, a film artist, registered journalist, published. Dealer Cerner is a mother of 2, a film artist, registered journalist, publicist, CEO Film World Magazine, and Mrs. Film Texas 2013 to 2105. Involved in numerous charities including Philippine Women of America, Inc. 1. As an artist, who are your 3 biggest influences? 2. Our world is evolving and changing in many ways. We see there are countless innovative artistic trends out there. Which current art world trends are you following? 3. As an artist, what is our important role in society?
Ayan. Did you get the first question?
Yes, I did. So pretty. The letter sender is so pretty.
Yes. Bawal dito ang hindi kagandahan. Dapat dito Diyosa.
Yeah.
Lahat dito Diyosa. Lahat Diyosa.
Right? Yes. Okay. Who are your 3 biggest influences? I have to say, although it's not apparent in my work, but this artist used denim to create art. So his name is Ian Berry. I think he is the only artist in the world who does what he does. So he uses denim cut-offs to actually create wonderful, wonderful art pieces. So I love his work, and I'm mesmerized with just how creative he, like the use of material is different from the rest. So that's one artist that inspire and influence me. The second one is a Canadian artist that I've met online through Instagram. Her name is Deb Weirs. So she only became an artist, or started to focus to be an artist, like I think in her 40s. And
Welcome, Romilet. Ayan ang ating letter sender. So, mga Mamou, mga kaganap, mga viewers natin, in the next episodes natin, ang mga letter sender, pwede nating i-feature kung gusto nila. We can show them. So, ayan, another beauty queen. Si Romilet was Miss Texas from 2015 to 2017. Tama ba ako, Romilet?
Yes, 2013, 2015. Yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead with Elie with her.
Yes.
I have to say this.
Okay, hang on a second because okay, there you go.
My real name actually is Romelie. So when I saw how you wrote the name, I'm like, oh my God, my full name. So Elie.
Yes. Yeah.
My full name is Maria Romelie. So I'm like, oh, it's very close. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, moving forward.
Yeah.
With you, Elie.
So the second artist that I love is Deb Weirs. She is amazing so she does this blind contour. So blind contour is like you close your eyes and you just dribble whatever to the paper, and then she finds these wonderful characters. And it reminds me of this amazing Dutch artist, Joran Bosch. So I think he was like the 15th century, but just amazing. So wonky. How she does the work is there's no rule. So I love that because it's like finding perfection in the imperfection. So I love that work. I think that the third influence would be, and I talked about this earlier, people that are really surrounding me. Because I feel like if there are no emotions, I cannot really create art. So most often I pay attention to how this person, like I'm very intuitive that way. Maybe I would just sit across you, but I'm already like trying to discern. And I love that. It really feeds my creativity. So yeah.
Great.
And thank you so much for those questions.
I can see that your creativity comes from your heart. Talaga, Elie, because you do a lot of it with your emotion, which means your love, your sadness, diba? Ibang emotions. Okay, as we go to the second question. Pinahirapan ka ba ni Romy?
Do you want me to read it to you?
Yes, please.
Yeah, actually, this is the second question is the one that I really would like to find out more because it's one of my challenges as an artist. So our world, as we all see right now, is evolving and it's changing in so many ways. And in the marketing, in the art, in entertainment, even all kinds of aspect, business wise, political wise, the way we market ourselves. There's right now there are a lot of countless anyway kind of artistic trends out there. And as an artist like myself, I'm trying to kind of chase the trend, although I still have my originality, because it is really vital for me as an artist to be able to make it, to be able to catch or at least be on the trend. So which current art kind of trend right now in this current generation that you're following to be able to keep it up?
Moving, yeah. I think this is a fitting question because of the change, say in COVID, right? When COVID hit, all the galleries went online. Everything really went online, and
Mm-hmm.
the challenging part about that is like art is it's tactile, right? It's like people need to feel it,
Yes.
to smell the paint, and all these things, and it's challenging when everything is online. But in
Yes.
saying that, I think and I agree with you what you said, to shift the focus on
Mm-hmm.
something that I mean, there's innovation, so you're gonna have to follow that. I just had this conversation with my daughter because my daughter is like a budding artist, but she does digital, and sometimes she laughs because I'm like, oh my god, I have to mix my paint at the right color. She's like, mom, it's so easy. I just do
Mm-hmm.
appropriate, blah blah blah, which made me, which kind of made me think like, should I try
Mm-hmm.
to digital? Because one, it will save me money to
Yes.
buying the materials. I mean, as you know, it's quite
Mm-hmm.
expensive, and uploading is easy. But I still love the idea of traditional, but it is brewing. So I am following that trend because
Mm-hmm.
even on Skillshare, so I have I teach fabric painting on Skillshare, and there are so many classes that talks about,
Mm-hmm.
digital art, and you just need an iPad. That's all you need, and then you can create whatever it is that you want. So that one I'm
Mm-hmm.
really paying attention to because if it will save me time and it will catch the attention of the market, then maybe it's worth exploring. Another way I think is, so I like how to market my art.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly, I always say I'm an artist. I am not good in business. Terrible.
I can be your marketing executive. I can be your marketing arm. I can be your handler.
um, the challenge is to, so like there are some galleries who would approach me and they say like, we can represent
Mm-hmm.
you. I see in New York approached me already, but you have to pay them like dollars. And then I'm thinking like, okay, I understand that everything is going online, but how do you do that? Like this challenge is like, when so how do they represent you in a way where you feel like you get your money's worth? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a different world for sure. I mean, there's a lot of collaboration that's happening as well, but everything is really going
Mm-hmm.
online. So yeah, it will be a challenge, I think, for like traditional artists. So but we will see. But those I am really keeping an eye on.
Great. Okay.
It's great. Yes.
Okay, the next question, Romulan.
Yeah. For before I go to my third question, I just want to let you know that I am very impressed with your work, and I love the fact I admire more that you incorporate your passion in fashion to your
Thank
art, and all that stuff. Like it's similar to my style that I have to incorporate my passion in music to my art. So every time I have an exhibit, it's Muse Art by Romulet and Music and Art by Romulet. So I have the music and my painting at the same time. So with that said, that we actually not only want to share our talents and our vision, our um, passion to the world, and then with the influence that we can create and instill to the public and to the society or to the world. So what do you think our most, or what do you think our important role in society as artists?
I think personally, it is to really speak my truth. Um, truth in the art that I create. It's
Mhm.
the in the emotion of the art that I'm trying to speak to the audience. Also, one of the taglines of my unwasted denim jacket is
Mhm.
it's a denim that tells a story, because it is a story. Like
Mhm.
of denim has traveled already. I mean, you
Mhm.
don't know who wore that denim, and that person traveled.
It's
It
true.
has theirs because it has stories. Maybe this person got caught trying to catch the train or something like that, or
Mhm.
rode the bike. But all these stories that is in this jacket, and then I buy it and put art.
Mhm.
It's very important to have that voice. Also, like I made a line featuring all these endangered animals. I mean, before I even started reading about it, it made me really sad because there's so many endangered animals and nobody even care. So for me, it's like, okay, I'm gonna paint this on the denim jacket. So at least if there's 5 people who see it, 5 people will know. I talk about it when I post on Instagram. Like, did you know that the rhinoceros are so these things? And I think this is I feel this is my role as an artist. I feel
Mhm.
as an artist, we're very blessed to have this voice, but I, I try to make sure that I lend this voice in a way where
Mhm.
I can inspire people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. And Mamuvi, I just want to tell you that I appreciate you having me here. It's truly an honor to meet Eli as well as being part of your show tonight. I mean,
So much.
yes, tonight. It's morning here in the United States. So
I know, right? And I have to make you wake up like super, super early. And Romelet, you're just tonight you're a letter sender, but you have agreed that you will come out with me again, be my guest, and we can talk about your magazine, your art itself, ayun, yung what you do for the Filipino community in the US. So that's a separate episode for Dear Ma Movie. So,
absolutely.
Romelet, diyan ka lang ha, huwag kang aalis kasi
Yes, I'll be
our
here.
co-host will
Nice
be,
to meet you. Thank you.
yeah, diyan ka lang. Our co-host will be joining us, and
Mhm.
alam mo, knowing John Gornes, another creative person, a multi-talented global iconic fashion designer. So, John, halika na, join ka na. Kasi I'm overwhelmed with two beautiful, uh, very talented. Ang dami nila. Ako, marami akong talent. Pero yung pinakamalaki ko yung sayaw. Yun, marami akong talent. Kasi ang pang ano,
Hi.
Hi, John.
Hello. Hi, Eli. Hi, Romelet. Welcome to Dear Mamou V. I'm excited and I was just listening and watching the three of you, and they're all creative people and we're all, surrounded with creative people. Can you hear me?
yes, we can hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I missed
So,
you, John. I missed you last
yes.
night.
So I'm excited to ask a question, but this question goes to Mamou V.
Oh, ako!
Because
Ako!
she keeps on asking both of you. Now I have a question for Mommy B. Okay, Mommy B, if you're given an opportunity, what part of your brain would you like to function, the left or the right? Do you believe that the left is a
Oh, yes,
creative
yes,
part and the
yes,
right
yes.
is the logical? So which part of your brain would you like to function?
Pwede bang dalawa so I can become ambidextrous? So I have the logical because I'm a very logical person. Very, nasa yeah, right or left. Alam ko pag left, creative. Vet na so, can be ambidextrous. I can be talent, I can be creative, I can be a lawyer. Pwede ba yun?
Mhm.
Pwede naman. 'Di ba? If actually it depends on how you're gonna use them and where you're going to use them. So let's ask our guests. So usually what part of your brain you usually use? Diba? Kasi kayo, very creative kayo eh. Ano bang part ng brain niyo? talagang, talagang useful, talagang ginagamit nyo most of the time.
Oh, ayan. Dalawa kayo ni Eli tsaka si Romelet. Sumagot.
Go ahead, Ramle. You can answer this first.
Go ahead, Romelet. Did you hear us, Romelet? Can you hear?
I be so
So it's your turn to answer the question of John Guarnes. Can you hear us?
hear me? Okay, I muted myself. I'm so sorry, guys. For the artist, mostly we use our right brain because I think that's where the creativity is in the right brain of the human being. Yeah. So is the right brain is the stronger or the more dominant one?
So when do you often use your left brain?
Well, the left brain is mostly the logic. The
Yeah,
logic and
because
then
um,
more like on analytical kind of stuff. Logic.
yeah. Okay, so I wanna hear it from Eli.
Honestly, I want to use my left brain most of the time because I feel like using my right. I know I'm very creative and I'm very like um like I decided based on emotions, so I think it's part of being creative. But I really sometimes feel like I'm activating my left, but it's still the right that's speaking. So it's like you can't really get. It's hard. It's like math. Like okay, I cannot activate. I cannot understand math if I use my right brain. I need to activate my left brain. But even if I'm trying to activate my left brain, I still do not get math. So I always say like I'm an artist.
How about you, John? Ikaw, John.
Me, actually, because since we are already creative people, I would rather use my logical part because somehow we're so emotional. Sometimes we are so, because of our creativity, we don't even
Mhm.
think about the business side. Okay,
Agree.
sometimes we just let pour out ourselves, our creativity without even thinking about are we going
Mhm.
to earn from what we're doing,
Yeah.
sometimes we have to realize that God has given us the talent and somehow we have to
Mhm.
monetize what we have to earn to what we are given, right? So, and
Yeah.
that we have to learn to really adapt in our system. So, how can we make this creativity be a business, make it in a business way? Just like, what you're doing, Eli, and some of our people. But somehow, most of the time, mas masyado tayong, oh, sige na nga, basta binigay mo, bibigay mo, because you feel like people love your works, na kahit ibigay mo na lang, okay na. Am I right? Diba?
I
Yeah.
concur.
Yeah. A friend of mine did say, okay, if you are terrible in business and you are creative, you have to remember that business people need creative people to make the product, right, to sell. But so you just need to partner up with somebody who's good in business. So I think, well, that's my left brain talking, but
But somehow, I
yeah,
think that somehow you can't just get the right person to manage you. So it's
Yeah.
better that you have to
Yes.
learn to adapt the system that, all the things you have to really have to put everything into percentage. Like, 80% or 50% should be my creative and 50% should be on the business side. So at least both ways will active and you benefit, right?
Yes.
Because and also the people, your family will benefit from all the things that you're doing, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
I have a question. I have a question for the three of you. Creative people, artists are very emotional, so we find you erratic and you
We have mood swing.
Oh yeah, I don't want to admit.
No, especially when you're in your element, di ba? When you're in your element. So we respect that. And in fact, that's one thing I don't have, or maybe if I have, baka kapatiting lang. So we respect that. How do you manage? Like, is there a parang push button sa inyo na, oh, I'm becoming too emotional, oh, may creative juices. Parang meron ba kayong oras na dapat hindi ako ganito, dapat ganito lang ako? Like, is there 7 a week? Dapat 5 days lang akong ganito, yung 2 days na yan, dapat hindi. Tell me about it. Mauna
Let them answer first.
nakapagtanong din ako sa'yo, Jan.
Ako ba tinatanong mo? Di ba kaming tatlo?
Meron ako kasama.
So, should I answer first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So, actually, I don't know. I don't know because me, I'm a person that, mahilig ako dun sa cramming. My creative juices comes lalo na pag yung malapit na. Pero kapag matagal, ay nako, hindi nagfa-function ng creative side ko. So, I intend to relax, cool down, pero
Yes.
pagdating na, halimbawa, mga 1 week before the fashion show, dun lumalabas, or 1 month before the show, lumalabas yung creativity ko. Kaya somehow, minsan after I realized, naku, sana I could have made better if I prolong, if I have made it, parang dati ginawa ko na, something like that. Pero, hindi ganun talaga that's how I work. But
Yeah.
somehow, pag lumabas naman siya, yung response ng tao, dun ako na-overwhelm.
Mhm.
Yun. Oh. So, meron kang last minute, 11th hour na yung creative juices mo, oozing talaga. Diba?
Yes, at hindi mo ako makikita. Ganon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Disappear sa studio.
Disappear ako. Ganon.
Mhm.
How about you, Elie?
I think what really keeps me in check is being a parent really helped that. I think because you have, well, now I only have one daughter, but when I had my son with us too. So it, like being a parent, you have to be kind of more present, right? So that really helped me focus. But when it's just me, like John, I'm really bad like managing time. It's not about managing time. For me, it's like I still don't feel it. I will feel it when it hits me. And usually it hits me like few hours before I'm supposed to do. It's supposed to like be done. And then so you don't sleep. I am known for like going for weeks without sleep, and then I will crash and will sleep for like 16, 18 hours. So it's
Hi.
terrible. I don't know. I think it's like all creative people go through this
Mhm.
sickness. It's like we're so bad to ourselves. But I think being a mom somehow just like helped me, because then I cannot do last minute. If I have to do something, say for my daughter, then I cannot do last minute and then just ignore her, right? So it helps me kind of like see the reality of things. But yeah, I could be like in the clouds and I'll just be fluffing around for days. Yeah, I'm not do anything. So
Okay. Now I get more ideas. So I know how I would treat my family members who are creative people. Kasi pushy ako eh. Ano ba? So now I know I can leave them alone.
Mhm.
Diba?
but sometimes we need people like you actually.
To
People
push,
like you, like, hey, like, come on, you gotta do it now. So
Mhm. Mhm.
just
Actually, yeah,
It's not
that's
too
true.
much.
That is so true.
So kailangan
But don't push too much.
Yes.
pinupush.
Otherwise, we'll push you
But you
out.
have to give us a deadline, like a deadline or timeline. Like, yeah, it is important that you have to give us a deadline, because if you don't, we're just gonna keep it like hanging in there and just whatever. Just like John, I'm a very sort of I like slacking a lot, especially if the scheduled event or exhibit that I'm having is like 3 months away. I said, all right, I have a lot of time. I can do this last minute or whatever. And then 2 weeks prior or 3 weeks prior, I said, oh my gosh, it's coming soon. And I still need to create this much paintings and all that stuff. And then that's when I agree, not sleeping like Elie, not sleeping for like 3, 4 nights. Like right now, I have a Muzart next week. And actually, this coming Friday, I have a Muzart. And then I haven't slept until 5 o'clock this morning. And I slept for 1 hour to wake up for this show.
Yeah.
Just like that. Yeah. And I'm a very moody artist. You cannot tell me when to stop and when to start. You have to just prior to, if you're my client, then that's different. You have to tell me in advance, when do you want your artwork or your painting? Then I will have that in my mind that I have to get this done by that day, and then I will be able to accomplish and achieve that. We always accomplish and achieve that goal. However, yeah, we tend to slack, but we always meet the need of the client. We always do, because we can't afford to kind of like we're not able to do our work because we're like the number one critic of our work. And even if it's done, we look at it a zillion times and it's never done. I could do more in this one, but I have to hand it over to the client, right? But all of my artwork, even nowadays, I've sold already plenty out there. And to me, every single one of those paintings, I still need more time to do more. Still. Yes.
But me, I don't want. I make it a point that I really sleep because I can't afford not to sleep. At least 4 hours, that would be good for me. But 1 hour, I don't think my brain will function. Even my creative brain will function.
I sleep again after this for another 3 hours to make it 4.
And by the way, yes, Mamu.
Go ahead, Jan. Go ahead, Jan.
No, because what's so important with us is like, we have outlet. That's what's nice about creative people. That's why we're not really a person na nai-stress, na
Mhm.
tawag dito, affected by the situation because we have other means to express our emotions,
Mhm.
and may outlet kami. So yung hindi kami mabilis magkasakit kasi alam namin na meron kaming pag medyo na-stress ng buong mundo, meron kaming painting, meron kaming drawing, may sketching kami. That's where we pour out our sentiments, our emotions to what's really going on around us. No, lalo ngayong pandemic, like me, ang ginagawa ko, sketch para hindi na-occupy yung mind ko. Hindi ako na-stress. Ma-stress na kayong lahat dyan, ako hindi. Diba? That's how, that's how we are blessed, the creative people. Kaya ikaw,
Yes.
Mamu, ang gagawin mo, isayaw mo na lang ng isayaw yung mga stress
Correct.
mo. At least,
Correct. Talaga, totoo yun. Tala dance, di ba? Mga ako yun. Mga paa. So, Romelet, so your exhibit, music and art.
Yeah, it's a fusion of music and art. It's a
When you say
virtual
music-
event.
Oh, so it's a virtual,
Yeah, online next Friday, 8 o'clock here, 8 p.m. here in the United States. So thank
great.
you.
Send us the link so we can watch naman.
Absolutely. We have that
Yeah.
Muzart at Facebook event that I set up online. I'll send you an invitation. Yeah.
Yes. Kasi si Romelet is also a publisher of her
Mhm.
magazine.
Mhm.
Correct, Romelet?
Yes. Yes, I'm also a journalist, a registered journalist, and I do that. I juggle that all the painting and then the magazine. The reason actually I founded or I started the magazine was on 2010, way back in 2010, was to have a free advertisement for my paintings. So I don't have to ask anybody to market for me. So I just, well, why not? So I'll have both. I love to write, I love, I love knowledge, and I love to find out the current events, and I watch the news, and, as much as possible, I want to be updated on what's going on because it also reflects on my artwork, actually. Either it's abstract, impressionistic, or realistic, all that. But yeah, the current events, what gives me also or drives my creativity. It triggers it, and so I have to do that. And then the painting. So I always have that my art in the magazine about what I do and share my paintings in there and sell them. So yeah, so it's a win-win.
You
So
gave us an idea. Now we're gonna put up our own magazine, Eli.
yes,
Yeah.
I would
Why
strongly
not, diba?
right. Just
You
like
also write. So there you go, John. I will
no, no,
support.
no, it's true. It's true
No, I'm
because
also a columnist.
yeah,
I'm a
you're
Yes,
fashion columnist.
John, yes, yes.
yes,
Yeah.
because see, when you're doing an exhibit like right now, virtual or actual event that you have a venue, after the event, when people leave, a lot of them remembers it, but a lot of them forget it. Okay,
Yeah.
after they leave. But
Yeah.
if there is like they can check later in their hands or they take in their home
Go
and all
back.
that, and other friends, especially Filipinos, our kababayans, they love to party. We're very sociable. So imagine that one copy of your magazine or publication in that household, just one, with your artwork there. How many people is gonna do that?
Yeah.
So it does
Yeah.
create a good channel to many or access to many people on recognizing you and branding your name.
Okay,
Yes, I
so
agree.
yan na, gagawa na tayo ng magazine. Eli,
Correct.
That's good. That's very
You
smart.
know, you
And
don't really you just have to take a photos of your works, and then like, because now all the magazines are not really magazines who have articles and all those stuff,
yes,
but it's
Yeah.
just like a coffee book where they can browse all the
yes,
photos. It's like a
yes.
yes.
portfolio.
Mhm. It's like
Yeah.
a portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. So anyway, I have a question for our guests.
mhm.
Okay, so, sometimes we see your works, no, and other people would like to would see, like, I've seen that already from other artists, your work, something like that. You get what I mean, and somehow, because we were also influenced by our artists around us, right? So somehow we adapt their style, their works somehow, and then we put and incorporate it and infuse it in our work, right?
Yes.
So my question is, what makes you original and distinct from all the artists in the world?
Um. So I'm gonna talk about this dress. This.
Yeah.
this this is actually inspired by Jean-Paul Gaultier. Um,
Mhm.
I think one of his collection. I think early, I think 2014. But it's amazing that as an artist we are surrounded by so talented people. I mean, you cannot say, there is no, I have no creativity or I have no talent. That's actually not true. I mean, I think even if you are academic
Mhm.
or whatnot, there's always that part of you that is creative. So I think my art for me, it's the originality, I think, comes from my passion and why I do it, the purpose of why I do it. I think a lot of the artists do it because, one, of course, they need to make money. All of us want to make. I want to make money too, um, and and to sometimes you start by copying people's work, and then eventually you find your voice and your style. And I am so proud to actually say when I found out my style, so this art,
Sure.
and we were talking about like this lady with their like wonky faces. This was actually originally inspired by the Canadian artist that I talked about, Deb Weirs. But I kept on talking to her about it, and eventually, as I took her class, I took a lot of art classes actually. Even if I do my art, but I still love to get inspired by a lot of artists too. And then one day it just came out. This girl, mine, she's mine, and everything about her is mine. And I'm like, whoa, this is actually amazing. So I think the authenticity of what we do really comes from, it's almost like magic. The more you see, oh my God, I was just inspired by people. That's actually when your authenticity come out, because everything that you put out, this is at least how I feel being an artist. Everything that I put out and I pulled from all these people that inspired me, kind of like made a baby and then made this character. So
Mhm.
but most importantly, it's the voice, like what I am trying to tell when I create something. So the emotion that people feel, I think for me, that's the authentic side of what I do. So
So it's your expression of what you want to tell people. So that expression would have an original concept of how you want your art created.
exactly. And I think one of the things also that really helped me as an artist is I really stopped thinking of perfection. That was such, it freed me from trying so hard. Like, oh my God, I studied fashion illustration, and John, your fashion illustration is amazing. Mine is not as good as yours. So I mean, of course, I learned about the measurements and how to do that. But fashion illustration, it's like in art for me, it's the perfection. It's long legs and arms and tiny waist and all these things. And I went through a phase where I really wanted to draw realism, like draw something realistic. That's why I was always scared to draw the face. I didn't want to mess up the eyes or the nose. And then I realized I have to let this go, because when this ladies comes out of my painting, they
Mhm.
are not perfect. They have like big lips and they have like wonky, like not even perfect noses. But this is what I love that. And it was a really good lesson for me. So anything that I do, it's there's no such thing as perfection. It's
Mhm.
perfection when you are happy with what you do. So I think for me, I feel like I am still growing as an artist, but I have reached the perfection in a sense that I don't feel the need to copy other people anymore. Like I found my voice and I am flowing with it.
So that
Thank you. How about Romilith?
Well, about perfection, I just want to continue to what she's saying. That's my struggle because I'm still a perfectionist. In every work that I do, I want every artwork, every piece to be the best of that particular piece because that would be the only copy in the world. So I would like to have that one piece of art, each single one of them to be perfect. That's why even if, as I said, I should be done, but I don't feel like I'm done. I will never be done or finish. So that's my struggle even nowadays is that perfection kind of to perfect everything. And just how I am. Like I am like the worst critic of my own art. And I think every artist are that way. But to me, it's kind of like, yeah, it's still a struggle, and I think I will be that way until the day that I die. As long as I can paint, yes, that will be my struggle. But I
how
embrace
about
that
Can I have
way being
another
me.
question?
Yeah, sure.
Can I have another question, Mamu,
yes?
before we wrap up?
Uh,
Okay. So like I have questions to actually to all of us because there's a lot of critic around us, like,
Oh,
Um,
yes.
critiquing is very important, and that
Mm-hmm.
helps us to improve our craft, right? But
Yes.
somehow there are people who doesn't know how to use critiquing as well. So, and those people that we face, those who doesn't really understand how to critique, and those are the people that we face usually.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we handle those people? How do we handle those critics? That's our question now to all of us.
Who wants to start?
Mom, mom.
Mamu, mam.
Ako na yung huli. Ako na lang yung huli. Oh, ako
Okay.
mamimili. Mini, mini, may, mi, mo. Ayun, Eli.
Oh, I one thing that I've learned, I think, because like growing up in a place where I grew up, where I really felt I had so much insecurity growing up. I think because something in me was telling me I will live in a bigger world, but I didn't know where that bigger world was. So I was in constant, like I was fighting constantly with myself. So I felt really insecure for a while, even when I joined Qatar Airways. I think it's not insecure, confident. I think maybe the right word is I was not confident. But I think motherhood, and I will go back to this because I think motherhood is such a wonderful gift and it gives you so much strength because it tests you in so many ways. Um, when someone critiques me these days, I listen to them. Sometimes I get defensive. I have to be honest because it hurts. It's like I've worked so hard for this. I've worked so hard, put so much time, and then it's like you say something like this. It really hurts. And sometimes it does not hurt if it comes from people that you care about, but other times you really like I really get hurt because these are people, say, like people that I know, and I would not expect them to say something like that. But at the end of the day, I always think that everything that I do in my art, in making garments, in whatever it is that I do, I put my heart and soul into it. So when I am criticized, there's nothing I can do to change it anymore. It was like the best version of what I could have done at that time. But I have to agree with Romelette though, because I know the feeling of seeing your art and like, I need to fix that. Even if like you varnished it already. I mean, that kind is like, I know the white became gray. Okay, I know. That I can do it. That can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But when it becomes personal, it really hurts. But I have learned to just let it go because at the end of the day, it's like parenting. People will criticize you because your kids are whatever rambunctious, but as a parent, you're really trying your best. So um, that's how they see it. But I know I tried my best. So I think that what comfort me when criticism hits.
Okay. Bago sumagot si John and Romelet and ako, let's go to our paraffle. Okay. Um, Oo, may
Ano
paraffle pa
raffle?
din.
Paparaffle ba yung mga paintings?
Yung,
Ang mga jacket, Eli?
Pwede. Next.
The picture na lang, picture. Picture raffle.
Pwede paraffle yung pic. Okay. Magtatanong si Eli para doon sa tatlong paraffle tayo ng ilod. Si Eli and then si Romelet and then si John. So, first question, Eli. Anong itatanong mo dun sa mga viewers natin? Because our viewers are waiting for our questions. And then, the Mamou, as usual, hashtag, then yung sagot. So, tatlo na ang ibibigay nating tanong. So, Eli, would you like to give out the first question? Anong gusto mong itanong?
first question would be, what do you do every day that comforts you?
Okay. Wait. Eli, our question should be based on the show tonight.
No, okay, sorry. I did
Tonight, para meron silang iisang sagot. So, ayun, halimbawa.
All right. So
Halimbawa, yung first question mo.
my question is, what is the name of my brand, the denim jacket?
Oh, hala. Ayan.
Or if someone can tell me
May
the
isang jacket.
my Instagram account for my brand. There.
Ayun, Instagram ni Eli. Yun yung first question.
Yes.
Instagram, direct bench. Andiyan ka ba? Instagram ni Eli. Yun yung first question. Alright? So, mga kamamo, mga kaganap, ayan, gising-gising lang. Okay, what's Eli's Instagram? Yon. And then, next question, ikaw naman, Romelet.
Okay. What is the creativity sort of trigger for Eli? In what sort of where it's coming from? All her artwork. Mhm.
Sagot ni Eli.
I will help.
Sige, pang giveaway na yon. Eli? Ibigay mo na daw.
Bibigyan na niya.
Oo, baka may magsabing, mahirap naman yan. Hi, Elie. Shout out kay Elie's Golden Heart. Thank you for watching, dear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, giveaway, Eli. Giveaway. What triggers? Yan. And, andyan ka po ba? Yan yung second question natin for 3 Elos. And John, your third question.
Okay, my third question, if you are watching right now and you're gonna answer, what part of your brain you are using right now while watching our show?
I love that.
Yun.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yan na, mga kapapo. Sagot na. At ng ilod. Ayan. Habang si Romelet ang sasagot doon sa tanong ni John. Okay.
Baka na ko sasagot.
Nakalimutan na yata.
Bakit si Robin yung guest?
Dapat
yung
yun
mga
yung
audience
sabi
natin
audience.
na magsasagot. Baka manalo si Romil.
Shout
I
out
think it's
kay
simultaneous,
Ate
both left and right brain, because when they're watching this show right now, quite honestly, there's some emotions involved, and also they're analyzing us and trying to rationalize and use the logic on trying to understand who we are, our creative mind, our personalities, and then on how we view the world and how we take on the things that we do and our passion, and understanding us at the same time, admiring us. So admiration comes with some sort of emotion as well as logic into it. So I think both right and left brain.
Okay.
No,
So,
Romilet, you have to answer my questions.
ayan,
I did.
The questions in what makes you original and distinct. What makes you original and distinct from other artists?
Oh, okay. For my art, what makes me original is basically not only incorporating my passion in music and art. That's why I created the Muse Art, because one thing that I did, that I started, that was way back in 2013. was I performed live singing "Someone Like You" by Adele while painting at the same time.
Wow.
Yes,
Oh,
I
now I
won the
will do
I won
that.
the best in talent.
Just to do that,
I will dance and do the
That's
painting.
yes. I did that. So I basically take a song and that I want like my favorite songs and create a painting or art to that song. And that "Someone Like You" song by Adele is so I don't know, I am emotionally touched by it. And then it's kind of like really also at the same time motivate me wanting to portray the heartbroken sort of individual or female. That's what I did. So I was singing in that pageantry. It was in Austin, Texas, and I was drawing at the same time what are the thoughts and emotions behind that song.
Wow, that's
Okay,
an
my next
original.
question. Yeah, and my next question is how do you handle those critic people?
Deadma. I pretend to be Deadma,
I
but
love it.
yes, Deadma. I said in my head, this is what I'm thinking. But I Deadma them. I pretend to be Deadma. It's like, show me you can do better, then I might look at your work compared to mine.
Oh,
If
di
you
ba?
can't
Ang
even draw a
taray.
line,
Oh,
if you can't even draw a
aray.
line, then why can't
Ang
you
taray.
criticize with my colors, right? If you can't even draw a face or an apple, so pretend to be Deadma, but I listen. I pay attention to the critique. And then I use that to challenge me and to show more of what I can give and offer and master more of my craft. But Deadma,
Oh,
Okay,
I
I
love
love
that.
that answer.
I love that
Yeah, now I will
answer.
answer my question.
yes.
Okay, mine, what I usually do, actually, I'm a person who's so appreciative of other people's work.
yes.
Okay, so I'm a person who just like what Romulet said, like I will look at your work and see what you can offer, and then from there, that's where I will get also my end,
Mhm.
my critiquing. So if you can, if don't critique somebody who you cannot even critique your work, right?
Mhm.
So it would so just keep your mouth shut if you because everyone is entitled to its work, right?
Mhm.
So kung yun lang yung kaya niya, let's appreciate because that's how she gave herself or he gave herself from that work. So we
Mhm.
just have to appreciate and learn
Yes.
from
Mhm.
what she can offer and he can offer. I think that's the whole essence because lahat tayo may gift. So
Yes.
dapat lang
Mhm.
natin i-appreciate whatever we have. Don't just pull your critic from nowhere without even understanding what is critiquing about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because critiquing must a person that you criticize must learn from you but not destroyed. It should not be destructive, 'di ba? So
Mhm.
kailangan matutunan natin ang logical critiquing. Oh, 'di ba?
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Logical
Okay.
critiquing.
But I
Ayan.
this is also like a really good point. I mean, my favorite saying is if you have to choose between being right and being kind, you choose being
Mhm.
kind. So
Mhm.
I think it it's like what you said, John. I mean, we sometimes we tend to it's like automatic, diba? We can't even we catch ourselves thinking like, whoa, it actually came out of our mouth, and we thought we were just thinking about
Mhm.
it. So it's like practice. Like, okay, if I have nothing better to say, and or if
Yes.
the person asks me of what I think, I'd say, okay, maybe like lovingly and kindly, because there were so many ways of critiquing. I mean, you can say, um, I can suggest that you can use this color, or ano ba yung
Yes.
color? Ang pangit-pangit, right? Just like, you know what I mean? So you can critique by by saying, John, you have done so many shows, you have designed so many garments, and you can actually critique people, those who are just getting into the industry. But
Mhm.
if like for somebody, diba, who is like you is like so talented, people will also gravitate towards you if you can give constructive criticism in
Mhm.
class. Then they look up to you. But the moment you say something bad, it's like, oh, sakit naman ng pakaramdam ko, like it really makes a difference, I think, with how you say things. So
Mhm.
Ako naman, tinitignan ko muna kung sino magkikritik sa akin. Teka
Yes.
muna, pag tagang icon to, ay, oo naman. Thank you for, giving me some ideas and tips and critiquing my work, diba? Pero kung, you just, I don't know where you pull out those critic
Came
and then you
from.
just saying it. I made this one in my life. Naloka ako kasi hindi ako nasaktan because lahat kaming designer, may
Mhm.
isang vlogger na siniraan niya lahat ng designers dito na sa Philippine Fashion Week. Siniraan niya. So, syempre, hindi mo mabura-bura yung pag ginugel, di ba? So,
Mhm.
pag ginugel mo yung pangalan mo, ang kabaduyan ni John Guarnes. At,
Grabe. Oh, grabe.
pero hindi ako na-hurt kasi nga, I can't understand.
Mm.
He's telling those things. Tapos yung damit ko was being featured in all magazines.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then this person was trying to critique that garment.
yeah.
You get what I mean? So
Yes.
and then the other magazines was telling this is the trend now. Something like that. John Guarnes collection is a trendsetter. Tapos itong isa nagloloka-lokahan. Bigla sasabihin the kabaduyan of John Guarnes. And then
Total.
this vlogger, what happened to them? They were all I think inano sila lahat. Parang binan sila from getting to watch all the fashion week in the Philippines. So they cannot enter anymore. Kapag may mga fashion show, they are not because that's the wrong way of critiquing.
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm. That's actually destroying.
And I think it's hard. Like, how can you critique if you don't even know garment construction? You don't know the time that is spent looking for those fabrics, designing a collection. I mean, managing the production. Like, you cannot really critique based on if you do not understand the hard work that a person put into.
Mhm.
You're not in the position to actually critique
Mhm.
that way. I mean, okay, maybe you can say personally, I think, but like the kabade, it's too much. So good for
I'm
you.
sorry that happened too. That was really brutal. It was brutal.
Yeah.
But it was good though that
So,
you're able to overcome that.
no, actually, I'm not hurt because I'm not the only one they
Okay.
criticize. So, mas matitinda pa yung mga critic niya dun sa ibang design.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
kaya ako, dead ma rin, di ba?
Yeah.
No
And
comment.
I think it's really important to surround yourself with people who appreciate your work too. I
Mhm.
think they really give you the balance, diba? When like you get criticized, you also know that there are people around you who you trust, and you could actually ask them like,
Yeah.
talagang baduy ba? Because you like, John, what are you doing? And it makes a big difference, especially in this industry. So
Mhm.
to have
Yeah.
people around you who will really lovingly tell you, if you have to change something.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
That's true. That's true. Shout out kay
O, si
Direk
Mamou na ang
Larry.
sasagot.
Thank you for watching. Ako, I have, iba-iba ang approach ko sa mga kritik ko eh. Kasi all my
Mga
life,
bashers. So, bashers mo,
maraming bashers, maraming nangingialam. Kasi like when I was in the corporate world or like dito sa show, may mga basher na rin. I look at it as yung validity of the person. Number one, para batuhin ka, namumunga ka. Kasi binato ka eh.
Mhm.
Di ba? Yung
At saka hindi
puno.
lang yun, ibig sabihin, sikat ka na.
Exactly.
Sign of progress.
Di ba? Kasi nakilala ka eh. Oh, nakita ka. So, binato ka. So, that means marami kang bunga.
Mhm.
So, ayun. Pangalawa, tinitignan ko anong validity doon sa person na naminta sa akin. Tapos, pangalawa, exactly, alam mo naman yung status mo of how you do things and yung a reason, di ba? We do things for a reason.
Yeah.
So, kung hindi naman siya, wala naman siyang validity sa akin, ikiber ko, di ba? Pero, I take a look at the criticism. Kung constructive naman siya, I would stop and baka tignan mo, o may validity siya, o sige, i-improve mo. Kung, di ba? Kung ano mo ma-improve. But as a whole, sige lang, carry bells lang. Ganun talaga ang buhay ng tao. Kasi maganda yon, may nakapansin sa'yo. Kasi pansin sa'yo, wala ka, hindi kita. So, pag may mga maraming pumansin sa'yo, kitang-kita ka. So, game, okay, eto ako, si Mamou V, di ba? Ganun lang.
That's true. Pag hindi ka pinag-uusapan,
That's really
hindi
true.
ka sikat. Period.
Correct.
Yes. Good or
Correct.
bad publicity,
Yes,
still a
that's how it
publicity.
is.
Yeah.
Just embrace that gift, and just embrace that. Ganun lang.
Oo, exactly. Nang dahil dyan, ang sabi ni Direct Bench, next week na daw tayo magpa-raffle ng ilog. So, yung mga questions na yan, tatandaan nyo yan. Ha?
Overtime na tayo, Mamou. Overtime na kasi.
Kasi sobrang animated. But before we go, alam mo, si John, tuwa ako kay John because John is an achiever. He has conquered the world of fashion and he's been in the industry for quite some time. He is very much respected, yet he's a very humble person. Working with you, John, in the last few months, I'm so blessed. And I tip my hats off on your humility. Kaya ang ating word na yon is about humility.
May sumisigaw dyan. May sumisigaw. Ilang taon na ako. No? Direct ha. Direct. Tantanan mo ko. Nabubuking ang edad ko rito. I started 9 years old. Ano ba?
9 years old. So 39 years old.
I'm only 39.
Diba? Direct clarity, 39 lang si Jan. Walang bukitan, ha? So, ito yung word ko for tonight. And I was so blessed. Tuwan-tuwa ako dito sa word na to. Let me just share it with you. We will never experience true intimacy with God until we are able to come before Him in genuine humility. Utterly desperate for Him. We need to be broken. And in Proverbs 15 verse 33, it says, the fear of the Lord is instruction in wisdom, and humility comes before honor. Oy, ang ganda. Another verse, Proverbs 18 verse 12 says, before destruction a man's heart is haughty, but humility comes before honor. So magkahawig. And then the last one is, to me, it's so powerful tonight kasi you talking to you, Elie, you're a very sobrang multifaceted talent, and yet knowing you in the last years, you're so humble. Yung wala kang pretensions, yung I see you as you are, but I know that there's something in there na ang dami kang pasabog. Alam mo yon, pero sobrang humble, di ba? And I'm so blessed to be called your friend. And then,
ako rin. Gusto ko na siyang friend.
Ako din.
then Romelet also. Romelet is a pretty queen. And ang dami niyang talent. And, tingin ko kay Romelet, hindi lang siya creative. Mukhang ambidextrous ka rin, Romelet. Because, you let your mind work logically. With your achievements and your heart to serve the Filipino community, I salute you for that as well. So grabe, power women.
Gusto ko na rin siyang friend. Kaya tayo magkikita.
We need to visit her.
At least si Eli, nagkita na kami. Na-meet ko na siya. Diba?
We need to visit her.
Mhm.
Oo nga. So, yung last natin is, which I love so much, Proverbs 22 verse 4 says, the reward for humility and the fear of the Lord is riches and honor and life.
Mhm.
And I pray that each and every one of you, Eli, thank you for being my guest. And thank you, Romulet, for waking up so early in the morning to
Thank you.
ask a question. Personally, you're such a beautiful heart and soul like Eli. And of course, my co-host, the John Guarnes, which is always the life of Ganap TV and Dear Mamou. Hindi na nagpakita si Direct Bench.
Ayan na. Ayan na. Hoy,
Hello.
Direk, ikaw ha, binubuking mo ko.
Natakot ako
I-broadcast
mag-join kasi
talaga.
parang nosebleed. Diyan, natakot ako mag-join kasi nosebleed eh. Hi,
Ay,
Eli.
Hoy, ano si
Hi,
Direk,
Miss
creative
Romulet.
din yan. Yan, super mood swing din yan si Direk.
Marami na tayo.
Ayan.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
Yan ang
sobrang saya naman.
correct. Yan
Ang saya ng discussion.
ay, Direk, ang fresh mo ha.
Ay, grabe
Direk,
ha.
you look
Fresh ba
fresh.
yun? Mag-apot
Direct Bench, magsabi ka ng totoo, natulog ka muna, no?
Nakatulog siya ata sa atin.
Tinulukan kayo, no?
Oo, nakatulog ka, no? Tulog ka, no? Kasi ang fresh ng mukha mo, eh, di ba?
Ay, grabe. Hindi lang yan, Mamou.
But before we end, I just want to congratulate John Guarnes, Bench Bello, John Guarnes for a very successful fashion week.
Yes.
Grabe!
Thank you.
Grabe, ang galing. And ano yan, diba? Super labor of love with all puyat for how many, what? For a good 30 days lang kasi ano eh, we only have very little time to do everything, di ba? So, ayan, yan ang mga superman natin. Si Ben, Guarnes.
Thank you.
The Fashion Week Brooklyn is the debut of Beware ni Bench Bello.
Yay, beware.
Beware, and of course, hindi pwedeng pahuhuli yung mga creative designs ni John Guarnes.
Yes.
Yes.
Pinalakpakan niya sarili. Yay!
I hope next time we can have Elie on the show, di ba?
Yeah.
Yeah, oo.
To showcase her collection.
Yeah, I love
Si Romulet, magagawa na rin daw ng damit.
I can try for that.
Diba? Why not? Oo.
Yes, why not?
Ang galing-galing, ang saya-saya ng episode na to. Grabe. Can you
Mga
imagine?
creative, ito yung mga creative juices.
Sabihin, ang mga creative juices, ayan, may mga home daw.
Mga sumpong.
Mga sumpong.
Wala tayong sumpong ngayon.
Hi, Sky. Pauwi na ako, bebe.
Ayan na, pauwi na si Direct Bench. So again, mga kamamo, mga kaganap, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. And please don't forget, Dear Mamou is here to give you inspiration, hope, and faith, plus love. Ang sabi ko kanina, those who wants, yung ating mga kamamo, those who wants to be featured o magtatanong sa mga love lives nila, please send your letter to dearmamov@gmail.com. Ayan, pinapakita na ni Eli.
Oh my God, ang ganda.
Oy, Eli. Eli, kamera na.
Oh my God, ang ganda.
Pagbibigay kami ng jacket namin, pa-paint din.
Yun po talaga online, ha? How can I say no to that? Tayo na. Okay na.
Yes.
Alam na, direct. Magbibigay tayo ng jacket natin, papapaint natin kay Ida.
Yes.
Oo, sige, go. Oo, gusto
Para
ko yan.
susutin natin sa Ganap TV.
Sa Ganap TV, oo.
Yan.
With the signature of Eli, di ba?
Yeah.
Ayan.
Dapat may signature mo daw yan, Eli. So,
Oo.
Romilet, thank you so much for waking up early to join us. There will be a next time. So, of course, Direct Bench, John Bornes, maraming salamat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mga kamao,
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
I hope
Good
marami
night,
kayo-
everyone.
Okay? So, good night,
Bye-bye.